Okay, this is one of my favorite stories. Why is it that the controls on Nintendo controllers seem to be reversed? To understand this, we have to go back to the NES. Here's the NES controller. Below me, you'll see the two primary action buttons, B and A. A was supposed to be the button that you used more often. B was supposed to be secondary. So if you were choosing actions off a menu or something, you would press A to select and B to cancel. Fast forward to the Super Nintendo, and now you have more buttons. But A and B were kept in relatively the same location, and thus they retained their same function. A was select, B was cancel, and X and Y were other secondary functions. Now let's fast forward all the way to the PlayStation. You'll note that they're not using A, B, X, Y, they're using shapes. But these shapes were originally supposed to represent function, and those functions were supposed to be mapped exactly the same way Nintendo did. Circle was supposed to stand for yes, X was supposed to stand for no, so select, cancel. Triangle was supposed to look like a pointer, like a cursor in a menu, so it would be the thing that opened your menu. And square was supposed to look like a window or a shield, and it was supposed to be used for like viewing things or attacking or any other sort of secondary function. And that's how it was in Japan. In America, when they focus tested the PlayStation, they found that people got confused because they associated blue with yes and red with no. In addition, they found that it was simply more comfortable to rest your thumb on the lowest button and thus use that as the primary button for whatever you're doing in whatever game you're playing. And so in Japan, a lot of PlayStation games still use the Nintendo layout, but in America, things started to switch around, and the X button was used as the confirm button. Now, the Xbox was made in America after the PlayStation already hit it big. And at this point, Nintendo was experimenting with non-standard controllers such as the N64 and GameCube. So the Xbox just copied PlayStation. When they made this chunky hamburger controller, and later this more sensible one, they simply made the button that was lowest on the cross, where the X button would be on the PlayStation controller, the confirm button. The thing was, they were also aware that the confirm button on Nintendo products was always A, so they had the best of both worlds. They simply took the Super Nintendo layout and reversed it, so now A was the lowest button on the controller and was the confirm button. However, when Nintendo went back to the standard controller design with Pro controllers for the Wii and later the Switch controller, they retained the original Super Nintendo layout. So A, which was the button to the right, was the confirm button, which means people now have to reverse their brain whenever they play Nintendo games. And that is why the Steam Deck has this option for use Nintendo button layout, because the Steam Deck itself is laid out exactly like an Xbox controller. But since it's a portable system, your brain might go into Switch mode and try to press the B button for confirm. And so it just lets you have it both ways. You could use the Steam Deck like it was an Xbox controller, or you could use the Steam Deck like it was a Nintendo controller. But frankly, I think it's well beyond the time that we should normalize controllers, or at least have good enough button mapping that you don't have to worry about it. Looking at you, Nintendo.